Hi everyone, thank you so much for being here. My name is Jane, this is my channel, International Tarot. I wanted to do a quick message regarding private readings if you're interested, okay? I just put up a temporary booking page. I'm still building out my site, but it's only going to be available till June 14th, and then I'm going to be turning it off again because I have a visitor coming here to visit me in Bali, and I won't be able to be doing privates. And then again in July for only a couple weeks. Likely I'm going to be moving to Europe after the middle of July or into early August. So it's going to be kind of sporadic, and I apologize for that, but I just got to work around my schedule a little bit. So thank you so much again, and enjoy your reading. Hello Capricorn, how are you? Welcome to your June 2017 love reading. Thanks so much for being here. So let's go ahead and get started. I've already prepared the deck for you, so let's dive in. Okay, 7 of Coins. And 9 of Coins. Well, I'm actually happy that they're coming out as your element, Capricorn, because I think that, you know, Pentacles being representatives of earth energies. And it's positive in that I think that what you're dealing with feels a little bit more native, I guess. Like it feels more manageable, feels more understandable, right? Because you're looking at facts, you're looking at evidence and details, and in a love reading, okay, that's behavior, looking at actions, it's looking at words that were said. And even what just entered my mind was actions speaking louder than words. So that's your evidence, that's your concrete detail, right? And it's like, well, okay, it's not enough. And normally I see the 7 of Coins as a point of decision or a pivotal moment. So you're in your element, you're examining the facts, you're examining the numbers, so to speak, and weighing the options. Do I stay? Do I go? Do I continue? Do I work hard? Because you've been working hard already. 7 of Coins and 9 of Coins crossing you. You've been working hard. Now, this is going to speak differently to each of you, okay? So your own independence could be kind of getting in your way, or your desire for independence. Maybe some of you have found yourself in a little bit of a codependent situation and you're not happy there. Others of you don't want to be single anymore. You don't want to be so independent. So I think it could go one of two ways. I think there's just an unsettling factor, regardless of whether you're attached or not. There's just a sense of this isn't enough, or this isn't what I want. So if you're attached, it's not enough. If you're single, it's not enough. So it's a little bit of a pessimistic mindset right now. It doesn't mean the whole reading is going to be pessimistic. It's just kind of like, an unsettling. And the Artisan of Coins, another card of your elements. This is actually the card of Virgo. Okay, so some of you, actually, am I holding it? Okay, hopefully I don't cut the cards off when I hold them up. Some of you may be dealing with a Virgo, or this could also be your energy, but either way, it's very slow moving, okay? Diligent, dutiful, fulfilling obligations, service-oriented, you know, really focusing on the needs of others, creating things that can be put to use. Okay, this is a very earthy reading for you, Capricorn, so far, and I'm very cautious. You may be making decisions, but they're all in your mind, right? So if you're watching this reading because you're in love with a Capricorn, they've got a lot going on in their mind, you know, and if they do seem a little bit detached, or they do seem a little bit reserved, then they do have their mind, it is spinning, they have those wheels going, okay? But yet on the outside, they remain quite simple. They do what they need to do. They do what they're supposed to do. So some of you may be none the wiser. If you're dealing with someone else, okay, I'm not quite sure which way this is leaning. I'm seeing it as you, but also could be someone you're dealing with. They too are kind of doing everything that they're supposed to do, and maybe they're working a little bit too hard, right? And maybe that's kind of turning you off a little bit. Someone that's overly fulfilling their duties or overly expressing how they feel about you. And Capricorn is such a simple, straightforward sign that anything in excess doesn't necessarily have a place, right? Everything kind of needs to be a little bit logical. It needs to be more practical. This is in its core a fundamentally practical energy, but someone that is going overboard with the service and like words of affirmation and things like that can be a little bit of a turnoff. Okay, Five of Swords in the past position. This is a card of like battles not worth fighting and protecting things that aren't worth protecting. You know, sometimes we do protect things out of safety, protect things because we don't necessarily feel comfortable with something new, right? We do tend to get comfortable in this like a little bit aggressive, or I see this as pushing buttons for the sake of pushing buttons, getting under each other's skin. It's like no one really wins here. There are no winners in these types of arguments, these types of discussions, these types of situations. So again, adding and lending to this pivotal moment, this point of decision. Do you want to continue fighting fights that you cannot win? And you know you can't win them. Even if you do win them, no, there is no winner. You know? So again, that does speak to the independence. Some of you wanting independence and wanting to break free, and others of you wanting the relationship or feeling ready for that relationship. It's something that you don't have. And whatever it is that you have is kind of that battle. The limbo, the one torn asunder, like the hanged man in the traditional deck. This speaks to suspension and delay. Some of you may be kind of moving into a little bit of a frustrating energy. Now, Capricorn, I know every sign I put out, every month, I always get those people that are like, oh, your readings are so negative. Well, no, when you have Saturn moving in a specific direction, or you have Mars in an unfavorable, place in the sky, or when you have things going on, like your life isn't always easy peasy, lemon squeezy. It's, and this can be hard, or it can be welcome for some of you. Like some of you will enjoy the stability of no change. Some of you will be frustrated by that. Some of you need the growth, some of you need the expansion, and others of you are like, nope, I'm gonna be super happy just keeping everything the way it is. Let's not have hurricanes in my life right now. I need everything to just be, And it will give you time to reevaluate, to reassess, because one thing you're definitely not doing, which is great, you're not overreacting. You may be overthinking, but you're not overreacting, okay? So again, that movement, that slow movement here, it's for the best, it's for the positive, I think, right? Because you're not going to be, let me go dramatic here. You're not going to be just saying, I want a divorce, and then just hurrying up with a divorce. Like there's no hastiness here. It's all very purposeful, all very meaningful. And the Three of Coins, right? You want the best possible outcome. The best possible outcome for growth, for change, right? And change, Capricorn is always very good about not change for change's sake, but let's change when we need to make a change. Let's be creative. Let's find alternative solutions. Again, there does seem to be a strong sense of evidence collection and evidence analysis, right? Researching and really thinking things through. Another coin, okay? Enjoy this energy, Capricorn. Really, really enjoy it, because I think you're going to be placed in a position where you can really tap into the positive qualities. You're a Capricorn, all the positive Capricorn qualities. And those are, so many. You're diligent, you're service oriented. You tend to work smarter, not harder, right? So maybe even some of you are trying to find a way, well, this is what I want to accomplish, but I don't want to have to work so hard. So let me find an alternative way. Okay, there's that creativity coming out. Now, this isn't the most romantic reading so far. Maybe some of you are kind of in, again, a limbo in your relationships. maybe some of you are, trying to move away from this Five of Swords, petty arguments, really frustrating, people, and people that are even trying to just win you or win over you, right? It seems to have an element of competition as well. It's not the Five of Wands, but it is the Five of Swords. And sometimes, our drive for winning is more powerful than the outcome anyway. Here's Five of Wands. So the fives suck, okay? They're not the best. They do lend themselves to pettiness and superficiality and unimportant things. Some of you may be really getting fed up with your partners or your significant others or the people that you're just interested in, and they're seeming like, it's like they seem to be content with staying here. They seem to be content with no growth and seem to be content with the tension and the aggression. And you're like, God, like this is not what a relationship should be. I personally, I've had most of my relationships in my life have been with Capricorn men, okay? And one thing I've learned has been, one, you can't tell a Capricorn to do anything, okay? And when there is upheaval, or like for me, I'm a Virgo, but I have Libra ascending, so I do tend to get a little bit like airheadedy or a little bit, imaginative, a little bit magical at times, which doesn't usually suit the Capricorn mind very well. But they kind of just let that person, they would just let me be. So maybe some of you are even just letting that person be and letting them kind of work out their little demons on their own. I don't see a lot of participation from you, Capricorn. I see you not in retreat, you're not pulling back, but you're just kind of like taking aside the sidelines. And that could even frustrate your partner even more, because it's like, don't you care about this as much as I do? Or don't you want this as much as I do? And you're like, well, it doesn't mean I don't want it. Just because I'm not behaving this way or I'm not engaging in this behavior doesn't mean I don't want this to work. It doesn't mean I don't want to be with you, right? So again, it goes both ways depending on if you're trying to get out of a relationship or if you're trying to get in one. Some of you that want to get out of a relationship, you're not getting out of the relationship, I think, because you're hopeful that things will get better. And you're kind of embracing this, I think, quiet time, I would say. The one torn asunder, the hanged man, this is like quiet time. Maybe a little bit of a break from the fives, allowing you to clear your thoughts and to come up with practical ideas. This can also be like counseling and therapy. There may be a need for discussion and talking about things, definitely communication. Your partner may or may not be really willing or ready to hear what you have to hear, especially if what you have to say is critical of them. They're not going to handle criticism very well at all. Okay, so if you're watching this again because you are in love with a Capricorn and you are or in a relationship with one, it's likely they're going to bug you. Okay, they're probably going to be, I'm not going to use the extreme word, I will for visualization purposes only, but I don't mean it to this level. They seem to be taking on an air of arrogance, okay? But they're not arrogant, they're just detaching, because they do not innately like to behave in five energies, Five of Swords or Five of Wands. They tend to exit to more melancholy states when there is drama in their life, and they do tend to abdicate responsibility, even if, sorry Capricorn, we all have positive and negative, but we all do have things, and they do tend to abdicate responsibility, but they're not going to actively defend themselves either. They're just going to be like, well, that's kind of your problem. If that's what you think or that's what you feel, then you just need to feel that. They're not going to necessarily, in this instance, console you, because I think that they see that maybe you are the one causing it, right? So that could frustrate you even more. So if you are the one dealing with the Capricorn, you need to really self-evaluate yourself and say, what am I doing that could be pushing this person away if you really do want to keep them, right? Or what am I doing? What am I behaving? And am I doing this stuff on purpose as well. And Capricorns are very intuitive, and they can kind of see through the bullshit very well. So they're not going to just like let this stuff happen to them, and they're going to try to keep it from happening near them as well. So if they do retreat, they do pull back, it's because they just don't want it. Okay. Threads of Fate, Capricorn, that's a good sign. We've got the card of good fortune, the card of good luck coming out in your environment. So the wheel is turning. Let me actually move this just a little bit so it's more center. Okay. Oh. So the wheel of fortune is turning. Things are changing. So in spite of the feeling that you really, I think some of you really want this Hanged Man place, like that's a desire. Like you need the moment of finding new perspectives. You need that energy behind you. You need the universal support. And I think it is providing that to you or for you. I feel like this reading was very much all over the place. I may be a little bit too highly caffeinated. I apologize if I'm really bouncy from like one subject to the next. I think I had like 3 green teas this morning. Okay, and the Devotee of Swords in the reversal, but in the hope and fear section. So not necessarily real. Some of you may be fearful that you're really not prepared to deal with what's in front of you. Or even hopeful that your partner will put down the weapons. Like, you need them to just chill out, right? Just chill out. And we can work through this. We don't have to avoid the issue. I'm not trying to avoid the issue, but I can't talk to you when you're like this. I can't deal with it. And, you know, Capricorn, you may participate, or you may have participated in just, you know, in the past, over the past couple months. But here's that separation. Here is that, no, I need to just be like sturdy on my own. And I don't need to rely on anyone. I really don't have that desire to be codependent or anything like that. So I'm just gonna take a time out and see if they can figure it out. And like, I hope they figure it out and they put down their weapons. And the Siren, which is like the devil in the traditional deck. Some pretty majors right here, okay? In the outcome, the Siren. I'm gonna kind of blend the two of these together. Look, 5 of Swords and the Siren, that's a very kind of like dark message actually. It's not negative, don't freak out, it's not negative, it's just that it's like intense. And Caps don't do intensity. Obviously it depends on their planets, but they prefer to keep their lives basic and simple and uncomplicated, right? Like if you're a Gemini and you're like bouncing off the walls and all over the place and here and there and going and like all this stuff, that doesn't usually vibe well with what they've got going on, okay? And they're very smooth. They don't handle the Siren well, but they hang on, right? This is their card. This is Capricorn. This is ruled by Saturn. They hang on to commitment. Like once they've committed, they are there, right? Now, this may be going on in their heart, but on the outside they seem very, very detached and uninvolved, and maybe even a little bit rude or like they really don't care, but that's not true. You know, that's kind of a problem with earth signs in general, is that they give off this super cold, like coins, right? Metal type of vibe. I would equate them very well to air signs, which makes sense. We have the 5 of Swords. It's cold, it's metal, it's not friendly. They can be, but when something isn't serving them, they do give off that vibration. But on the inside, there's a lot of depth. They're like an ocean, okay? And the Siren, Capricorn, like if they've committed to you, they have committed to you, and they will maintain that commitment and they will live up to that commitment, Okay, now I'm not saying Capricorns never break up with anybody. That's not what I'm that's not what I'm saying. But you know, they do things for the greater good. They do things for higher purposes. Again, that essence of purpose and meaningfulness in their actions, kind of the foundation of what I was saying. So this is not a bad thing to have. And they do need that time out. They do need that break in order to find a way to maintain the commitment that they've made. And they're not going to give in to temptation, right? You, the person who's in love with Capricorn, sorry, I'm kind of switching back and forth. I don't know why my mind's doing that right now. Oh. But the person who's in love with Capricorn, you may be kind of providing a little bit of this, like, again, pushing the buttons or kind of getting them to do something or trying to instill action in them of some kind. A little bit of manipulation there. And they're not going to give in, right? They're not going to participate. They are going to retreat. They are going to resist, which could lead you feeling like they don't care, but that's not the case. They just would prefer something a little bit more constructive, plain and simple. Strength, and they are exhibiting a great deal of strength, a great deal of perseverance, and they are persevering because they're going through a little bit of the ringer. Now, this doesn't necessarily have to be things going on in the relationship, okay? It could also be things going on in life in general. And they are retreating, they are going into hermit, homebody mode, they're pulling back, they're detaching, disconnecting from things around them. Capricorn, be careful because you don't want to sever ties with people. You know, if there's people you don't want to sever ties with, there's likely a chance that they could take it the wrong way and they could end up, you know, ending something with you, or they could end up turning a cold shoulder to you, which I know some of you don't want. So you need to be cognizant of your actions as well. You can't just selfishly pull away and retreat and not expect consequences of that either. Communication is super, super, super important. And I think I did something similar for Sagittarius as well. You know, you can't just go away and expect everything to be the same once you emerge. Like, you gotta keep life going. You gotta keep participating with the people around you and work this stuff out. Yes, it is going to require strength. Yes, it is going to require you to be courageous and for you to put your ego aside as well. And every person, I don't care what sign you are, we've all got egos. So you got to put that aside. And if this is a relationship you want to maintain, then you're going to have to work with them. And Two of Wands, and be communicative of your needs, you know. This is a very dreamlike state. It's a visualization, it's projection, it's like looking forward, shaping the world, very positive. Maybe some of you have, you know, I mean, you're diligently working to your goals. I mean, there doesn't seem to be a lot of detour going on here. Their growth is happening, expansion is happening. You just kind of hit a little bit of a speed bump here with your love life a little bit. Ten of Wands. This is a sign of giving up or being tired. You know what, Capricorn? I think you're almost at the finish line. We've got the threads of fate. I really do. And when I say almost at the finish line, I don't mean like tomorrow or next month. For some of you, it could be a few months from now. For some of you, it could be a year from now. Not to be discouraging, but this is a lot, right? You've been working hard and you're at that point where you just want to give up. Just give up. Put down the weapons. Let's just walk away, you know? Walk away from a person or walk away from an issue. Something that keeps resurfacing. Whether it's being in love with an emotionally unavailable person, or whether it's being in love with someone that's married to their work, or, you know, whatever. And the Chariot reversed. Private worlds. Some of you may have felt like you've lost control or felt like you've really lost direction. It's not the case, okay? Because I have the Two of Wands here that counters that. moving into the future, you may feel like you are losing, you know, maybe the horses got away from you a little bit. And you may be trying to deal with some wild Mustangs as opposed to trained, you know, chariot leaders kind of thing. I'm talking about the horses here in case that was lost on you. But it's perception. It's your illusion. This to me speaks to your private world coming out and your emotions becoming more understandable. Because right now I think that you're very confused dealing with this Five of Swords and this Five of Wands and this Siren. Like, this puts people in a very confused place. This is a card of giving up. This is a card of maintaining commitment. So you're kind of torn between the two. It's like it hurts so good. You know, it hurts so good. It's like you love to hate and you hate to love. Some of you. And that's not a natural place for an earth sign. Anybody. It's not a natural state for anybody. Your commitment seems to be holding you in place though, right? So some of you have significant obligations. Some of you have families, you have children, you have homes together. You know, you have the elements and you have the pieces of that bigger picture puzzle. You have those. They're concrete. They're in your life. Some of you, again, if you're single and you're just dealing with someone that's driving you crazy, because they're driving you crazy, but yet still in your heart you're committed. So you are willing to do what it takes to make it work. Something may be exposed. I see the Chariot reversal as things coming to light, and more so within you. There could be a lot of self-love coming out, which is fantastic. We all need more self-love in this world. The Eight of Wands. Now here's communication. These are so positive for communication. It's in your thoughts though. It's in your mind. It's kind of what's leading you. Maybe a desire for communication, a desire for travel as well. Some of you are really actively trying to manifest an outcome. Some of you are really trying to get what you want, plain and simple. And the Six of Cups, a long-standing connection, there's such sweetness and there's such bitterness. Here, the Chariot says it perfectly. The black and the white, the good and the bad, the ups and the downs. Like, it's definitely been a roller coaster for you. Not your forte, Capricorn. You handle it like a champion. You do roller coasters really, really well, but you hate them. It's like, can't everything just be easy? Can't we just be simple? Can't we just like chill? Can we just relax? Let's just all just be happy together and, you know, let's just all just get along. You're maintaining that sweetness here. You're maintaining that connection whether or not you want to or not. Six of Swords is the environment, the Wheel of Fortune and the Six of Swords, both speaking to forward movement. So I think the universe is pushing you forward, even though there may still be a clinging effect. You may be still committed to this, and you may still be, you know, holding yourself there, holding yourself up to that commitment standard and that obligation standard, because that's what you do. That's what love is to you. That's what your love for this person is. Four of Wands. You want stability, okay? And some of you really, you're hanging out for that. You're holding on. There's still a lot of hope with this reading. There's nothing wrong with hope, okay? There's really nothing wrong with hope. I'm not getting the energies of other people. This one kind of, but I'm actually really like seeing it more as you, like I was kind of saying in the beginning. But there's definitely two people obviously involved. Some of you maybe, yeah, I mean, I'm me just do the next layer. It's interesting, I'm not really getting you, I'm not really getting them. It's just kind of like your heart space. I feel like I'm looking in your heart. And the Artisan of Wands. This is the card of Sagittarius. They're in the reversal. Okay, so here we go. This is you, and this is them, okay? But they're in the reversal. They have no idea. First of all, some of you need to accept the fact that you have been receiving evidence for a very long time now that this person cannot deliver. Okay, their mind is scattered. They are non-committal. They are not interested in what you're interested in. There's a significant disconnect happening here. You are continuing, I think, to do what you need to do, continuing to maintain the relationship, to keep it going on a more nice, like you're being a little bit more nice, maybe too nice. Like I was saying, you're over giving. Okay, maybe that's you, you're over giving. And they just kind of seem lost. This is the Architect, okay, the card of the Architect, the Roman architect. So when you think about a Roman architect and really what they're responsible for, I mean, the Roman civilizations, the Roman Empire, building buildings, designing, organizing teams, production work. I mean, it's all very calculated. It's all very planned and strategic. So when that type of energy is reversed, causing scattered, causing lack of planning, causing unpreparedness, causing confusion. Okay, this is a very confused person. You have to question whether or not this is a quality match for you. Yes, they've put you through the ringer for sure. Your sweetness, okay, is kind of too sweet, and the darkness is not dark enough. Like, I think you kind of need to focus on the negative a little bit, some of you. If you're considering leaving, I'm so sorry, I'm kind of like going all over the place. But if you are considering leaving, it's important for you to focus, I think, on the negative things in order to get you to take that next step. If you want to remain committed to this person, then you really need to cling to the positive, because the darks are really overshadowing the good things right now. Okay, so if you want to keep this relationship alive, if you want to keep this person in your life, you really need to like accept who they are and to not, it's like you just are waiting for the energy to pass. You're waiting for things to shift. But you can't cut them out either, because they don't respond well to no communication. They're gonna freak out. You know why I'm probably feeling this right now, Capricorn? Is if I remember correctly, something was happening today with the moon squaring the sun in Gemini or something like that. And we've got the moon in Virgo ruled by Mercury, Gemini also ruled by Mercury. So there's a lot of issues with communication. There's a lot of issues with scatteredness as well. Sun in Gemini, Mars in Gemini as well. Just a lot of like here and there and up and down and da 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 da. And I think that you're running through a lot of these options in your mind. You're running through a lot of this stuff and dealing with a lot of stuff and keeping a lot of balls in the air, and you're keeping a relationship alive. Some of you want it, some of you don't want it, but yet you're still keeping it alive nonetheless. Five of Cups. You know, you're so focused on the good, you know, and that's good if you want to keep the relationship. If this is someone that you love and you're married to them, or you want to be married to them and you want a life with them, then this is exactly where you should be. Like I said, you're not making rash decisions right now, and you're not pressuring anybody right now. You may be pressuring for communication a little bit, but then the communication that you do have is likely annoying, frustrating, like this person bugs you. The World. See, You have to take the good with the bad. We have the tree of life, the three women, and the serpent intertwined between them or through them. You have to take the tree of life with the serpent. They are not separate. They must come together, okay? Maybe there's kind of been a little bit of a realization of that for some of you, right? And so you're choosing to look at the tree of life, you're choosing to look at the fruit, and you're choosing to ignore the serpents. Maybe not ignore, but to live with. And this is the serpent energy. The fives, that's the serpent energy. It's that reversal energy. And the Eight of Cups. It's been difficult for you to move on. It's been difficult for you to forget, to forgive. It's been difficult for you to get what you want from this. You're still holding out. You're holding out for the ideal outcome. You're holding out for everything you want. 10 of Coins. Okay, there it is. It's possible that this person wants that too, right? And I'm wondering if they just really don't know how to give that to you. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to react with you. I think your personalities are very, very different. I'm not going to classify it as twin flame, okay? But just a clash of personalities. That might not be always, it's just right now, right? Like right now your personalities are not meshing. Your goals and your ideals, they're not clicking very well. So, I'm trying to think of advice for you, Capricorn, because you're headed in a good direction. So it depends on what the outcome is that you really want. And some of you may be still trying to figure that out. What do you really want? And I think what some of you really want is to be single. And if what you really want is to be single, then you're gonna have to lean negative for a while. If you really want this relationship, you're gonna have to lean positive. And that seems like such an obvious statement, but regardless of single or in a relationship, you can have everything you want. And you're headed for that, you're working for that, and you're growing as a person, you are progressing in spite of the drama and the antics of this person. 4 of Coins. I think there's so much stuff that you want to say. There's so much stuff you want to let out, right? But there's also this very deep reflection, internal reflection. Like you want to make this person happy so much. You want to love this person so much, and they're making it so hard. And now you're like, okay, well, this is someone that I'm obviously not making happy. They're causing a lot of drama in my life. They're causing havoc and, you know, really stirring things up. I don't handle that stirred energy well. So what does this say about me? So what does your attraction, your love, your commitment to a person that creates grief for you, what does that say about you? Is it tolerance on the positive? Is it good-heartedness? Is it open-mindedness? Is it non-judgmental, that you're non-judgmental? Or is it that you don't have self-respect? You don't love yourself, right? So it can go both ways, and it can be a little bit of both, positive and negative. You've got a lot of opposites right now, like good and bad, light and dark, up and down, like I was saying with that Chariot. So it's okay, like you're confused at how something should make you feel. How should this make you feel? Should it make you feel good about yourself? Should it make you feel worse about yourself? So many things, but you're so quiet about it. So quiet about it. Pride, okay, ego, like I was saying. Your ego may be getting in the way a little bit. Okay, you may be taking a little bit too much of a retreat. Like I said, that might just kind of bug them and make them even more angry and kind of stir that up. Some of you may be wanting that reaction, like maybe some of you are playing little games. Maybe some of you are, you know, trying to manipulate the situation in your favor, Not from a malicious standpoint, but from like, I just really want this to work. I want the 10 of coins. I want everything that I want. And I'm not going to quit till I get it. So you come to me now. Like, you've been doing the work, and now you've put your wands to rest. You've put them on the ground, and you're waiting for the Ace of Wands, the Artisan of Wands, who has his wand here. I don't know if you can see it in his hand. He has his wand, and you're waiting for that single wand, that one opportunity to come your way, that Ace of Wands, that new direction, that new path, that new love. But death. See, I think for a lot of you, the universe is forcing you into closure, whether you like it or not. You're working against yourself. There's so much clashing. You are, Capricorn, you are working against yourself. And I'm sorry to have to say that, but especially if it's especially if you are in a bad relationship, Capricorn. If you're in a bad relationship, you need to let this die. They're not good for you. They cause you headaches. They cause you grief. You are headed in such a beautiful direction on your own. So why are you ignoring the dark things about this person that are so dark, that you really don't like, that cause a lot of insecurities to bubble up inside of you? You're hanging on, you're clinging to that. This scares me a little bit, because this is the type of reading that I normally get when people start to not let go of people and to hang on to situations that are bad. And even if you're in a loving relationship and you love your partner, even if that's the case, you're hanging on to something and you're trying to force yourself to see the positive when I don't think that there's a lot of positive. You're in a tough spot for sure. This is a tough reading. This is definitely a tough reading. Two of Swords. You're afraid you're not going to be able to make a decision. And you know what? I don't think you're going to anytime soon, because you're happy in this hanged man. You're happy in this state of suspension. You're happy for this break. And I think some of you are hoping that with this break will come change. Maybe it will for some of you. Death. Maybe it will. But how long are you willing to wait? You're going to have to wait a long time. You're definitely going to have to wait a long time. Hermit. See, weird, super weird. Now, you may or may not be dealing with a Sagittarius. It could be any sign. It could be a Virgo, Gemini, Taurus, whatever, okay? But it's weird because in the Sagittarius reading I did, they were all about hermit mode. And here we have the card of Sagittarius and the Hermit right on top of it. So, I mean, whoever it is you're dealing with, they have gone hermit mode. You have gone hermit mode. Communication is not gonna flow very well right now, okay? So you're focusing on yourself is the best thing you can do right now. Like I was saying, like pulling away, retreating, like disconnecting, detaching. It's the best thing for you. Now, yes, it's hard. It's actually hard for everybody this month, okay? So please don't stress and please don't feel victimized. There's a lot going on in a lot of our lives, and with the moon or the sun in Gemini, we're kind of all doing a lot of stuff. We're all feeling the effects of that. So don't pressure yourself too much to really get out of this. You don't need to make a decision right now, okay? It's really okay for you to be in that lingering place. It's really, really okay, just so long as it's not hurting you or causing you emotional harm. Okay, so you need to be honest with yourself about that. But seriously, good luck, Capricorn. Really good luck. I know it's hard. I really, really do. But I love you. Good luck. And I'll see you in a couple weeks for your generals. Bye.